What's going on, everybody? It's Chris Classic dropping the video, the Fastlane 2021 review. This is the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania and the last pay-per-view for the WWE Network. And as a big fan of the WWE Network for the past few years, I watched it on the network over Peacock. Let's go into it. I wish that Fastlane was No Mercy. But anyway, first match was the Women's Tag Team Championship between Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. Off the bat, this match was a lot better than their first match at Elimination Chamber. It's a couple of sloppy spots. I remember Bianca Belair trying to do a backslide, but she went over instead of under. It was very competitive. They started the match off arguing. I thought it was, like I said, I thought it was a lot better. It was a lot of action. I love Bianca Belair's 450 splash. Like, that's just beautiful and it's phenomenal. The end of the match, they go into an argument. Sasha had Baszler in the bank statement, and then Bianca tried to stop Nia, but then Nia pushes Bianca on Sasha. I believe I've seen that spot recently. I don't remember, but I've seen it before, but I do like how it was executed. Sasha started pointing, muffing Bianca, and then Shayna goes for the pin, and then Bianca tries to say it's too late. At the end of the match, Sasha and Bianca, they're going at it. Then Sasha muffs her again and then slaps her and then walks away. Bianca turns around, looks at the sign. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Now I'm going to tell you why I don't like that. Because we already knew that she was going against Sasha Banks at WrestleMania. Now, if we didn't know all the way leading up to Fastlane, and then that slap in the muff happened, then she looked at the sign, then we'll be like, oh, okay. Now we know who she chose. She chose to go against Sasha Banks. So I thought like the reaction was a little underwhelming, especially for getting touched multiple times. Like, if she didn't say, like, and that's okay. Like, you can keep that until Fastlane. I mean, we already knew she was going to choose Sasha because there was no programs with Asuka anyway. There's possibly Charlotte and Asuka, but I just do feel like it would have been a little bit better if she chose Sasha after that, or pointed to the side and then had Sasha looking at it. Like I said, it was a great back and forth. Next match was Big E versus Apollo Crews, and let me say this was actually like one of my first times like actually looking at Apollo in action with the accent. And I don't mind it. You know, a lot of people are upset. They say he's from California. Why is he saying he's from Nigeria? It's just like, you don't know where this man's roots are. I mean, I don't think a lot of people are really like looking at where his family come from or whatever like that. And it's like, who are we to say, oh, well, you are an American or you're something like that. How dare you or whatever like that. And it's just like, sometimes when you are a person of color and you want to go back to your roots, people are going to automatically laugh at what you're trying to represent or whatever like that. Let's give it a chance to play out. I'm actually impressed. The match was short, but it had a statement. I think the finish, the ending of the match was more important than the match itself. You had Big E checking Apollo, being upset, saying you wanted this and you wanted this. I think that he worked well with that. And then Apollo coming back, talking trash himself. I thought it was pretty good. The ending was a little confusing, but I can give it to Apollo Crews for attacking Big E and finishing it. I don't know if that was how the finish was supposed to happen like that. It felt like it was muffled with the referee. And then it was multiple Apollo slams. I'm going to call them Apollo slams, not angle slams. And then it slaps and a couple more slams. So, I mean, he put his foot on Big E, so you already know that this is leading into WrestleMania. I hope it ends at WrestleMania. I think that they've wrestled a lot of times already. Like I said, I think they're going to do their thing at WrestleMania. Third match is supposed to be Braun versus Shane, but Shane hurt his knee. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not even interested in Shane versus Braun. You know, no diss to Elias. I will say this about Elias, though, since he was the replacement. Elias is a great worker. Like, he does what he's supposed to do. You can get on your nerves. You can like him. He does what he's supposed to do. So I'm just going to say that. Like, Braun beat Elias. Short match. A couple things. Couple stare downs with, I think his name is Riker and Braun. But Who knows? We might do something on Raw or whatever. Biggest takeaway, obviously, is Shane didn't want to perform. You know, he's doing the coward thing, and then Braun and Shane are going to wrestle at WrestleMania. I do not want to see this. I do not care for it. We just saw Shane do his big move on Raw to Braun Strowman, which is the elbow drop off the top onto the announcer's table. We've seen it already. We usually supposed to be subscribed one time per year. We've seen it. And then it went from WWE to Nickelodeon because Shane had slime under the ring and slimed him. Out of all the things to humiliate him with, you grab Nickelodeon slime, or Flarp, if y'all remember Flarp. Where do you even buy it? Where do you even get it? I don't know. I don't want to see this match. Going into the next match, Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Great back and forth. I will admit, this was great. This was something that a lot of fans of Shinsuke Nakamura would like to see and would like to see him elevated, but it seems like they're elevating Cesaro at this time, who's also a workhorse. I love Seth Rollins' expressions about being upset and embarrassed that he got swung 22 times by Cesaro. So, you know, he was acting like he was going to swing Shinsuke, and then Shinsuke got out of it. Shinsuke was showing his intensity that we remember in those NXT days. And I do like the spot where he put Seth on the second rope, slid under, and did the German suplex. I can't say I've seen that before. That was pretty dope. Like I said, it was a good back and forth. It'll show you that Shinsuke could be a guy that can hang with the big dogs. And, you know, Seth is a big dog. I do like one move that Seth did. Is like he jumped over Shinsuke, and then his left leg went under Shinsuke's arm. Then he did like a back kick or something like that. I can't say I've seen that. That's pretty good. And Seth Rollins wins it with the curb stomp. I think this is a great build-up match to whatever they want to do with Seth at WrestleMania. Maybe Cesaro, most likely Cesaro. These are matches that we know that we are going to appreciate, and we know that could be match of the night. You know, I think that we got to get out of the, oh, well, the past 5-6 years, this person didn't get pushed like we wanted him to get pushed. I just think, for face value, that it will be a wonderful match. Next match is Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. It was a great back and forth, no holds barred match. I love the build-up. I love Drew McIntyre's face paint. I love the intensity that Sheamus brings. I think that we need to learn how to appreciate Sheamus more. He's without a doubt a Hall of Famer. Going into it, the back and forth with the kendo sticks, with the piece of the announce table, pushing Sheamus into the table of electric stuff. Listen, you know, you're gonna have jokes about the barbed wire death match, whatever. People are going to compare it to the Britt Baker Thunder Rosa match. That's going to be in another video for me. It was a great back and forth. You could tell that these guys trust each other, and that's a good thing. When you're going to have a great match when you trust the person. Hey, you can do this, you can do that. Like I said, it was a wonderful match. It was a great build-up for Drew being the victor. It was a great build-up for him going against Bobby Lashley. These kind of matches excite me when it's done the right way. And I believe they've done it the right way with this. One takeaway that I will say that I liked, what I thought was funny more than what I liked, was that leading up to the finish, Sheamus was beating up Drew, and he says, oh, well, what about Sheamus? Oh, it's always about Drew. Now, that's funny because Sheamus is already a multiple-time world champion. So it's like, and he hit the accolade before Drew did. So it's small details that I peeped, and I just thought that was funny. I was like, come on, man, like you beat John Cena for your first title. But going after, the next match was Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton, the intergender match. I believe we knew that it wasn't going to be like a very physical match, like a woman versus a man, because how WWE feels about intergender wrestling. For what it was interesting. I will say that. Randy coughing up the goo, the fire tricks, him going into the turnbuckle because Alexa moved out the way. Eventually leading to a burnt fiend coming from under the ring. Let me say this. I think it's a good thing that there's not a lot of fans or no fans, that they can do this kind of thing to put work in the Fiend and the believability of the character. Now, as a kid, if I was a kid, I'd probably be scared or whatever like that. But with the Fiend, I feel that this is something that they should have been doing if you were going to make this guy something very interesting. But at the same time, I can only take so many cinematic matches. Now, I'm not a big fan of the pentagram and all of the stuff like that. Ironically, I'm a big fan of The Undertaker. But at the same time, it's like you guys could have did this at the beginning. But it's like the guy lost to like Goldberg. He had a couple losses already. And it's just like, man, I don't know if you're trying to make this guy unstoppable or what. But other than that, like him coming from under the ring and then Alexa pushing Randy into the Sister Abigail and Alexa pinning him in a promising position, it ends the match. You know, like I said, it didn't need to be a long match. It didn't need to be something that, you know, we would get bored fast. Okay, we just doing this cat and mouse Tom and Jerry thing. I thought they did it very well. It didn't need to be longer what it was. Now we're probably gonna, you know, we're heading into the Fiend versus Randy, which would be funny because Randy lost to Alexa Bliss and then lost to the Fiend. I am curious to see how they're going to do it because of the Firefly Funhouse match last year with John Cena. I can see them doing the same thing with Randy, which will be interesting. I will say that. As much as I'm almost tired of seeing cinematic matches, that would be an interesting thing to see. Main event time. Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan with Edge as the Enforcer. AKA, he's going to get involved with the match. Someone else is going to get involved with the match. And your mama is going to get involved with the match. That's exactly how I take it. When someone is a special guest enforcer, I know that they're going to do something. Going into it. Biggest thing, Roman has not tapped. And he said he'd rather die than tap to Daniel Bryan. And it was just awkward to me at the beginning of the match because Roman was giving me Great Khali vibes. It was like big guy just didn't know what to do because Daniel was trying to grab his leg and trying to do takedowns and stuff, and then Roman was just walking slow. It's like if you look at him, you can just tell. I know what they were trying to do. He's a heavyweight guy, he's a strong guy. You're gonna have to do more than just a leg takedown. But the execution was just poor to me. It was just like I'm just gonna walk around. Oh, I'm gonna walk over Daniel Bryan. And then a few minutes later, he's on his back, getting stretched by Daniel Bryan. So it's just like, okay, Jesus, like what are we doing here? After that, it heats up. It's a couple back and forths, a couple spots with the yes lock, you know, power bombs. They were doing good. It was a good back and forth. Then we saw the obvious ref bump because the ref was literally right behind. I forgot if it was Roman or Daniel, but he was right behind, and we knew that it was coming. Roman spears Daniel, goes for the pin. Edge comes out, tries to go for the count, didn't work. Back and forth between Roman and Edge. Daniel Bryan takes advantage. Yes, lock. Edge is the referee now. Went from the enforcer to the ref. What happens? Jey Uso comes out, attacks Edge, attacks Daniel Bryan, chairs, hit people chairs. Daniel Bryan gets the chair, tries to hit Roman, hits Edge, and it looked like it hurt. It's already a lot of stuff going on in this match, you know. Daniel Bryan puts Roman in the yes lock again. Roman taps. Like, this is the thing. Like, this is why I miss the crowd, because I think the crowd would have went crazy looking at Roman tap. But at the same time, they would have booed Edge for actually hitting Daniel Bryan and Roman after that. Like, I don't see, that was a good thing about not having a crowd, because people would have booed, because everybody loves Daniel Bryan. Everyone wants Daniel Bryan. We want him to win the Royal Rumble. I know I did, but this would have made Edge, like, people would have hated. Like, people are saying that it's a heel turn, but it's too early to say that, only because the lack of a crowd, and then you're going to go off of, oh, well, I was attacked and I was defending myself and I was upset. So after the chair spot, Edge is frustrated, he leaves, and then Roman drags himself and pins Daniel Bryan, and then that's the end. Like I said, it was a solid match. I just think they put too much stuff into it. And now you may have a triple threat with Daniel Bryan, Edge, and Roman Reigns for the Universal title. Personally, I don't want to see a triple threat. We've seen Daniel Bryan in a triple threat at WrestleMania. He was victorious. This is nothing against Daniel Bryan. I wish he won the Royal Rumble. I really did. I really do. I just don't want to see a triple threat. You know, I don't. You know, you're going to have Edge and Roman, and if Edge wins, then he feuds with Daniel, or keep Daniel occupied until they do it again. Did it make me excited for WrestleMania? I was excited for WrestleMania already. Bring back No Way Out instead of Fastlane, maybe. No, I'm just playing. But it was solid action. It was a couple things that did make you scratch your head. I think I was excited for Drew going into WrestleMania against Bobby Lashley. The Fiend with Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton. That's going to keep people, you know, occupied and interested with the feud, the Bianca and Sasha thing. I just wish that she would have revealed she was going to go against her. Then that would have made more sense of her pointing at the sign, talking to it. The Biggie and Apollo, I think they're going to kill it at WrestleMania. Seth, we're seeing what we're going to do with Seth, probably Seth and Cesaro. Yeah, other than that, I think it was a solid pay-per-view. I've seen better pay-per-views leading up to WrestleMania, No Way Out. And that's what I got from it. Thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, to subscribe to the C3 Wrestling channel, I just uploaded all of the matches. Watch, enjoy, and let's take it home.